This is the Ericsson T68. This is often regarded as the first colour screen phone. Yet it was also the last phone that Ericsson made. What happened here? Let's have a look. In 2001, 6 years before the first Apple iPhone launched, phones all had black and white displays. Except in Japan, where it often seemed like a futuristic test market for new technologies. They had a proprietary phone system, and during 2001, a handful of phones with colour screens launched. Then in late 2001, Ericsson released the T68, the first colour screen phone sold in markets worldwide. The T68 came with a 101 by 80 pixel screen, each pixel able to show 256 colours. Available in space grey and in another first, a striking gold coloured phone. Representing wealth and power, this symbolic gold was very popular in China, which was rapidly developing at the time. The Ericsson T68 came out at a time when many new technologies were emerging for phones. As well as colour screens, digital cameras were just about to merge with phones. The T68 came before camera phones, but had an option for a detachable camera. Okay, let's test the camera accessory. Plug it in. Does it connect? And switch to taking pictures. Alright, let's test the camera module. I'll put my hand in front of the camera and have a look at that. So that's the viewfinder quality. And as you can see, the camera itself is 640 by 480. So let's take a quick photo. Okay, I took a photo and it's asking me if I want to accept the photo, and yes. So earlier today I went outside and I did a few test shots with this phone, and we can compare those now against photos that I took of the same scene using a modern digital camera. So we can see the difference in the quality of this camera compared to a modern phone camera. As you can see, there's quite a lot of difference there. Several other new technologies were also being added to phones at the time. Ericsson had invented Bluetooth and combined with other phone manufacturers to form the Bluetooth standard. The T68 was one of the first Bluetooth-enabled phones. The T68 also had the relatively new GPRS function, which enabled data connections. A laptop could be connected to the phone via cable or Bluetooth for internet access on the go. The phone itself could send and receive emails and had a very simple mobile-only WAP browser. With a colour screen, a camera and GPRS, the ability to take and then instantly send a photo was about to arrive. However, there was a problem. Ericsson was in trouble. A fire at one of their part suppliers, Philips, left Ericsson without enough chips to make phones. At the same time, Sony, who were a small player in phones, were looking to expand. In late 2001, Ericsson and Sony formed a new jointly owned company, Sony Ericsson. Then in early 2002, Sony Ericsson relaunched the T68 as the T68i, with a new style and colour, white and blue.
The T68i with full colour display. Put some colour into your life.
With the release of the T68i came new software, improved so much it seemed like a new phone, including a ringtone composer, drawing program, screensavers, basic notes, and the long-awaited MMS or Multimedia Messaging Service. Finally, for the first time, you could take a photo and instantly send it to anyone who had an MMS-capable phone, or an email address. The T68 was the first MMS phone. The hardware inside the T68i is the same as the original T68. Let's have a look at the hardware now. Alright, there's the label. We have a model number, T68M. Hardware revision is R1B. And there's the date code, 02W01 is the first week of 2002. Alright, we'll take it apart and have a quick look. Now that front face should come off, and there it is. We'll lift up the display. So it does look like a lot of these chips are custom Ericsson branded. It soon became possible to update the original Ericsson T68 to the new Sony Ericsson software. This was well before online updates and even before user updates, meaning the only way to update was to return the phone to a Sony Ericsson service center. This update was very sought after, and almost all original T68s were updated. There are also third-party tools that can update firmware. In this case, I'll be using one of these tools, but to downgrade to original T68 software. Okay, the lights are flashing away. We have a secure boot okay, and it's starting to read out information from the phone. Erasing MCU, so that has begun. The erase process will start first, and then it will flash the firmware. The reason I'm doing this downgrade is because a few things were removed from the Sony Ericsson software versions. I want to see the original wallpapers, including the picture of the Earth from the moon as used in Ericsson's promotional materials. And Tetris, the colour version that disappeared from the 2002 updates. I've already reviewed this version of Tetris and other games in my previous video. This is the T68, a revolutionary phone that arrived in a time of change and set the stage for what a phone was to become in the future.
Nothing beyond my control. Nothing beyond my control. Nothing beyond my control.